we're into Foundation Standard to see if we can steal literally all of our opponent's permanents. Here's the plan. Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and it's time for another edition, and our first Foundations edition of Against the Odds. And today we're heading to our new standard format to see if we can seal literally all of our opponent's lands with Eminent Domain. So let's talk about our Eminent Domain deck, what it's trying to do, jump into some games, see if we can actually pull it off. So the key card in our deck is a new uncommon reprint in Foundations, a card I love that hasn't been in standard in forever, in Confiscate. So Confiscate is just a 6-mana aura that enchants a permanent and says we control enchanted permanent, and this is the card that will hopefully let us steal all of our opponent's lands, maybe even all of their permanents. Of course, for any of this to work, we need a lot of mana. Our plane is super expensive, so our deck has a ton of ramp. Caped Harvest, Overlord of the Hauntwoods, Splunking, Map the Frontier that can get deserts like Arid Archway to make more mana, Conduit Pylons to surveil. So in the early game, we really just want to ramp and ramp and ramp because Confiscate is super expensive, and the rest of our combo pieces for Confiscate are also super expensive. So what are we trying to do with Confiscate? So obviously, we can just cast it for 6 mana, steal a permanent, that's pretty cute, but we have 2 plans to make it way better than that. So plan number 1, Extravagant Replication, 6 mana enchantment that says at the beginning of our upkeep, we create a token that's a copy of another target non-land permanent we control. So we can confiscate one of our opponent's lands, get down an Extravagant Replication, every turn we can copy the Confiscate to steal another permanent, to steal another land, and slowly, over the course of time, eat away all of our opponent's permanents, get them all on our side of the battlefield for probably the best possible flawless victory. We're not even like blowing up all of our opponent's stuff, we're actually just stealing all their stuff. Extravagant Replication, also cute with some of our ramp. We can like keep copying Heaped Harvest or Overlord to ramp, Splunking to draw cards. So that's plan number 1, Confiscate Extravagant Replication, slowly steal all of our opponent's permanents. Of course, we also have Doppelgang to speed things up. So the idea here is, if we can get a couple of Confiscates, maybe even more with Extravagant Replication on the battlefield, rather than waiting and slowly copying our Confiscates one by one with Extravagant Replication turn by turn by turn, we can just cast a Doppelgang, copy all of our Confiscations like 3 or 4 times, and hopefully steal all of our opponent's permanents in one shot, which should probably close out the game. Mana base, I'm not going to talk about every land, look it up on the deck list. The important ones are the deserts. In the sideboard, a bunch of removal and life gain for aggro, Paw Patch Formation is kind of a catch-all, Negate for control, Rest in Peace for graveyards, and that is Eminent Domain. Our deck is looking to steal literally all of our opponent's lands and permanents in standard. That's our deck for today. So let's jump into some games and see if we can actually pull it off. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoy it. And I'll be back in a bit for the wrap up.
Need some magic cards? Well, you can snag them from our sponsor, Card Kingdom, over at cardkingdom.com/mtggoldfish. Want to help out the channel? Well, you can snag these super sweet new dice, playmats tokens, and more over at mtggoldfishmerch.com.
Today, our goal is super simple. We are trying to steal all of our opponent's lands, actually all their permanents, but at least all their lands in Foundation Standards with a Confiscate. Basically playing some Eminent Domain. This hand, it's fine. We got a bunch of ramping. We don't have any combo pieces, but we can ramp a bunch, we can surveil a bunch, and our deck does need a lot of mana to actually steal all of our opponent's lands. Authority of the Consuls, eh? Sure. Some sort of life gain shenanigans. Yeah, I guess we'll keep the Overlord. Can't cast it next turn, unfortunately, but more ramping is fine. Well, let's see what our opponent's up to. Also, if I sound bad, I've been a little sick lately, so bear with me. But this deck's so sweet. We gotta play it anyway. Opponent, what do you got, Woktos? Oh, Marauding Bright Priest. Okay, so I imagine what our opponent's actually trying to do is combo off with Bloodthirsty Conqueror. Marauding Blight Priest, Bloodthirsty Conqueror. That's actually an issue. We don't really have any removal, which means, yeah, LSL Core, that can trigger the combo. That means we could die next turn. If our opponent just goes land Bloodthirsty Conqueror, they just go infinite and we die. Opponent hits us down to 17. Passing. Well, we have a bunch of ramp options. I kind of just want a Splunking because I feel like we need to hit removal. If our opponent was playing a fair deck, whatever, we just ramp. But because they're a combo deck, the chances of us dying are scarily high here. And then, yeah, let's play the Arid Archway. Pick up the Conduit Pylons, do a little surveilling. Come on, deck. Give us something. Well, all right, there's a Sunfall for next turn. Well, do we die this turn? Land, conquer, and we're just dead. Opponent untaps. Do you have it? Come on. Hold. All right, Authority of the Consuls, that's fine. We are not dying this turn. And a Ruin Lurker bat. All right, all of this is fine because we have that Sunfall. So, yes, we dropped to 16, we dropped to 11. But Map the Waste with Spunky Out is kind of insane. Like, it's almost free if you get bounce lands. I think if we do this properly, I think we can map the Frontiers. I think I said map the Waste. Map the Frontiers and get enough mana that we can still Sunfall. And then that sets us up better for the future. So if we map, we can grab bounce land and white source. And then, sure, get some triggers. Ping, yeah. Haha. Whatever will you do about it? Float a mana. Pick up the Synode Heath? Synode Heath? Maybe it's Synode Heath. Pick it up. Yeah, we don't really need 2 Splunk Gigs. Well, replay it. Ping, yeah. We will just Sunfall. Get rid of the combo pieces. All right, feeling a little better about where we're at. At least we're not in danger of just immediately dying. Opponent has assembled Authority of the Consuls. Well, it's a doppelgang. Opponent has assembled Authority of the Consuls Tron. Perhaps not the best Tron against our deck. Our deck doesn't really believe in creatures. Let's do some ramping. Get a Pylons, get an Arid Archway. It's kind of the default pile. Like, get the double Surveil Desert package. Pick up a... Well, I guess we can float a mana first. Not that we're actually going to use it on anything. But it is technically correct. The best kind. Ooh, all right, there we go. Confiscate is the thing we're missing. Wait, we might actually be able to do this. So next turn we can Confiscate. And then we can Doppelgang the Confiscate. We're getting close. We're getting close to stealing all of our opponent's lands. Take down the Overlord. Opponent. What do we got, opponent? Marauding Blight Priest. Sure. Well, we might just have to confiscate that. I still feel like they could have Bloodthirsty Conqueror in hand. They still haven't hit land number 5, so they could very well have it. Let's just steal the Blight Priest. Hey, more oh boy, we are very close. Double confiscate into Doppelgang, both confiscates, probably means we steal all your permanents. Take down the Overlord. All right, opponent. Unfortunately, Phyrexian Arena. We might just confiscate that. We don't really want our opponent drawing into things. Yoink. Oh, I do kind of love confiscate. Wow, another Doppelgang. The only downside about confiscating the Blight Priest is creatures do die. Like, they could have removal. And that could fizzle our Doppelgang confiscate plan. Opponent. All right, there's land number 5. About it. Go for the throw on the Blight Priest. That does slow down our confiscating. Now I guess we need 2 turns. Well, draw a Doppelgang. Draw a Overlord. Well, let's impend the Overlord. Get another land. Wait, it comes into play tapped? Interesting. Well, let's Doppelgang. Actually, what are we Doppelganging? We're Doppelganging the Confiscate for sure. So we can steal 3 more permanents. Yeah, let's just Doppelgang Authority of the Consuls twice. Make sure that if our opponent plays any creature, ooh, all right, yoink you, and then confiscate you, and then confiscate you. Eminent Domain is here. Opponent down to 2 lands. Now we have 6 Authority of the Consuls. So if our opponent plays anything, it comes into play tapped, and we gain 6 life. I think, oh man, we're going to be just short of stealing all their lands, aren't we? Another go. Opponent never hit the combo anyway. All right, we're scared of the combo for no reason. Opponent untaps 2 lands. They actually have somehow 0 white mana, 3 Authority of the Consuls, and more Authority of the Consuls than lands. I'm so glad they reprinted Confiscate. No, this is... they're going to scoop, aren't they? If we get one more turn, we definitely steal all their permanents. The Doppelgang on all the confiscates, we will steal it all. The best kind of flawless victory, the one where we don't kill all your permanents, we just take them all for ourselves. Eminent Domain style. And opponent scoops it up, and that went pretty well. That went pretty well. Do we want to change anything? Oh, did our opponent scooped. All right, opponent wants no piece of that and scoops it up, and all right, Well, almost all the permanents. Still pretty sweet. We are trying to confiscate all of our opponent's permanents in Foundation. Ooh, Extravagant Replication and Confiscate. That is like one of the combos, right? Extravagant Replication, Confiscate, we just get to steal a permanent every turn. And the funny thing is, as we steal lands, right, we actually probably can't keep this hand with 2 blue sources, but as we confiscate lands, that gives us more lands to cast bigger doppelgangs, to get more confiscates. So it kind of like snowballs into itself once it gets going. Yeah, we're gonna ship this one. This is better. At least we get a Ram Spell and a Sunfall. See what our opponent's up to. Schwamp, and, oh god, discard. Alright, being on the mulligan against discard is never good. Well, I guess we're pitching Sunfall. And let's play the tap lane, go. Oh, about it. Schwamp, and, ooh, new Tiny Bones. Alright, I'm curious, ooh, there's a Confiscate. I'm curious how good this new Tiny Bones actually is. Well, keep another Heaped Harvest. We would like to get our ramp on. So Tiny Bones basically, if we discard something, oh, alright. Thoughtseize Lizard. If we discard something, it gets exiled and our opponent can play it, thanks to Tiny Bones. Yep. So opponent steals a Heaped Harvest. Glad we kept the second one on top, so at least we get to ramp a bit. I wish we had that Sunfall still. Getting rid of this Tiny Bones would be nice. Our opponent being able to use our cards like, oh, man, maybe Tiny Bones is good. Can you imagine if they like hit this Confiscate or Doppelgang? That's so bad. Opponent hits us down to 14. More Thoughtseize Wizards. Yeah, we're falling kind of far behind here. What are we going for, opponent? Takes the Confiscate. Burgled by Tiny Bones, unfortunately. So what about a good turn to draw Sunfall? Well, let's pass the turn. We could Doppelgang X1 just to avoid discarding it. All right, opponent's going to bat it anyway. I mean, I think we essentially need to draw a Sunfall, and we need to draw it relatively soon. There goes the Doppelgang. Getting in. Hits us. Down to 9. I mean, we can sack to ramp, gain 3. While our opponent has stripped our hand pretty well, their board isn't that big, I guess. They have a lot of things. They're not big things, though. Arid Archway. We don't even have a desert? That's awkward. All right, well, land go. I guess we can fire up the creature land to block something. Opponent. Deep Cavern Bat. They could still have removal. And we can't block the lizards because of Menace. Opponent gets in with everything. Well, we're going to get rid of those Tiny Bones if we can. I am still a little worried. Oh, come on, no. Go for the throats, please. Oh, it's working. All right, that's sweet. Well, get rid of the Tiny Bones. So at least we don't have to worry about our opponent casting our cards. I don't think we want the Doppelgang back quite yet anyway. Oh, wow, they did have removal, but it was feed the swarm. Okay. Well, there goes our... Oh, man. Well, play the bounce land, pick up the forest. Next turn, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We can Doppelgang X2 if it's still in. Okay, that's good. Opponent, Hopeless Nightmare. I don't know if this is going to save us, though, because we're dropping to 1. The problem is the Menace on the Lizards. So we're going to drop to 1 here. We can Doppelgang X2 to make a bunch of lizards and bats. Confiscate would have been good a little earlier. Is this enough? So Doppelgang X2, lizard, bat. We get rid of whatever's in our opponent's hand. Might as well let the lizard make them discard it rather than hiding under a bat. Oh, it's removal. Oh, I think this means we're dead. Yeah. Cannot beat the Menace. We needed all the blockers to beat the Menace. What do we have versus discard? Do we have anything? Tiny Bones looks kind of good there. What do we have against discard? Really not much, honestly. Are we just running it back? We might just be, I mean, I guess Paw Patch. They gotta have talent in their deck, right? They must. I like Paw Patch anyway. It's a good catch-all. Yeah, maybe we just do a little trimming, bring in a little removal, right like that. All right, on to game number 2. Attempting to steal all of our opponent's lands. Not sure how it's going to go against discard, although at least we get to keep 7 this time. We do need to hit 1 more land to get to these Heaped Harvests. Man, opponent's Tiny Bones. Oh, man, triple Heaped Harvest. All right, we just need to draw land, and this hand's going to pop off. Opponent's kind of like Tiny Bones Tribal. We're almost to the point where you can build a standard deck that is only Kellens. Not that you want to do that, because pretty much all the Kellens are bad, but flavor-wise, it is almost possible. Gots to kill it, because they're going to take the removal anyway. All right, land off the top, Magic Gods. Let us heap our harvest. 6 drop. All right, that's unfortunate. Missing these land drops, not good. Well, I guess it's only 1 so far. If we hit it next turn, we can still catch up with the Heaped Harvest. The opponent might be having their own land problems. Excuse me. Opponent cracks the map on the Tiny Bones, finds the land, plays the land, hits us. All right, come on, Magic Gods. Land. Miss land drop number 2. Now it's going to get harder to catch back up. Opponent, Tiny Bones. Hits us. I guess we're just going to kill it. I feel like they're setting up the Thoughtseize Lizard here, and we would rather not let our opponent choose. All right, Thought Stalker Warlock. Sure. Well, we're going to get rid of this extravagant replication. Oh, boy. I think the deserts are great in this deck, but that is about the most punishing time to draw Arid Archway. That is about the worst possible time. There's the Tiny Bones, oh god. Oh god, and there's the Bandit's Talent. Well, at least we know we got some Paw Patch targets. Oh, this is awkward, because whenever we discard, yeah, I guess it's got to be Heaped Harvest. Whenever we discard, they get to Tiny Bones, and if we discard Doppelgang, then they, well, here comes all the lands. We're so slow to the draw here, though. All right, play the land, untapped, Heaped Harvest. Grab a Plains. I mean, in theory, we can Sunfall. Wow, okay. That is fine. That's about the least scary thing they could be doing here. And a Hopeless Nightmare. Yeah, let's discard the Heaped Harvest. We're gonna just have to Wrathway the Tiny Bones, I think. Ooh, extravagant replication. Actually, how greedy are we? Getting down replication would be nice. Because then we can start copying the Heaped Harvest. It's so greedy, though, because then they're untapping with the Tiny Bones again. Sunfall is definitely the safer line. But extravagant replication is just, it's so much fun. All right, now we get to Heaped Harvest every turn as long as it sticks. Please don't feed the Swarmas. That would be the biggest blowout. If after all this, they just feed the Swarm and it's all for nothing anyway. How close are we to Doppelganging? Ugh, Liliana. I guess we're discarding the Doppelgang. Hopefully they don't have a second discard spell. We really need to get rid of those Tiny Bones because we cannot have our opponent Doppelganging. If our opponent Doppelgangs, they are definitely going to win this game. Yeah, we haven't confiscated anything this match. Discard might be just a tough matchup. We have all these big expensive things. Our deck is not especially fast, and just getting hit by discard every turn might be a good answer to what we're trying to do. Down to 7. Well, let's extravagantly replicate this Heaped Harvest. I don't think it really matters here. Well, that's awkward. We want Doppelgang, but now it's just going to get discarded to Lily. We got to Wrathway the Tiny Bones, though. All right, opponent. Tiny Bones. Oh, Tiny Bones is better than I thought. Interesting. Since the things are exiled with stash counters, future Tiny Bones can... Oh, they're going to have 2 Doppelgangs. Yeah, we're in trouble. Future Tiny Bones can cast things that the previous Tiny Bones exiled. Our opponent is essentially just playing our deck with Tiny Bones. They have Heaped Harvest as much as we have. Actually, more maybe. And they have 2 Doppelgangs that they can cast. Yeah, map for a cut down, which they mill. Well, let's copy a Heaped Harvest. Extravagant Replication is such a cool card. This is not the most exciting use. It would be much better if we had a Confiscate, but... Well, grab an island. Alright, map the ways. I mean, we might as well cast it. Gonna get discount. We also are getting pressured by this Lily. This is bad in a bunch of ways. Well, let's get a desert and a desert. Do a little surveilling. At least they can't make us discard the top of our deck. Mill the Overlord. Do we want Splunking? I don't know if it matters as much at this point. I guess we'll keep it. It is a redraw. We might end up shuffling it away with the Heaped Harvest anyway. It is nice. Ooh, Bandit's Talent. Yeah, we're kind of dying. The thing is, we need to deal with some of this stuff, or we're going to die to the Bandit's Talents. We need to start sacking... Oh, Aclazot's too. We need to sack the Heaped Harvest to gain life. Opponent leveling up. Yeah, this is bad in several to many ways. Here comes the Tiny Bones. Well, let's heap some harvest. Gain a little life. Go up to 8. So we're going to end up at, what, 2 after all this? Well, we'll replicate the Heaped Harvest. This does mean we're not drawing the Splunking. We need Farewell, which doesn't exist in Standard anymore, thankfully. Get Lost. Can we get lost our way out of this? So we kill the Aclazotz. Attack. Lily's also to ultimate. Kill the Aclazotz. Kill the Lily. Or attack the Lily. None of this matters, though, right? Wait, I mean, so if we kill the Aclazotz, we can gain 9. We can gain 9 by sacking all the Heaped Harvests. So we can flare up the Incubate, hit the Lily, but then we gotta sack all the Heaped Harvests, and then our replication doesn't do anything. We just never found a Confiscate. I mean, really, I think the big takeaway here is that Tiny Bones looks really good. I think that's the takeaway from this match, is Tiny Bones might actually just be really good in discard. Well, hit the Lily, pass. Also, our opponent can just start doppelganging, which I can't believe they haven't done yet. The self-restraint to have 2 doppelgangs, just chilling, waiting to be used, and not using them. I wouldn't be able to do it. Ah, there it is. All right, doppelgang. They're gonna have, yeah, there's no beating this. They're gonna have all the Bandit's Talents. So they're gonna have 4 more Bandit's Talents. So they can level up 1, so that's 6. Yeah, I mean, in theory, we might survive. I think we gain just enough life to survive 1 more turn, but we don't have anything that really gets us out of it. So, well, Tiny Bones might be a real card. Pretty impressive. Against the Odds Time, we are trying to steal all of our opponent's lands, or all their permanents, in Foundation Standard. In this hand, we got to hit land number 3. We had problems with that last match, but we do have a Surveil, which should help. And we are playing a lot of lands in this deck. I think we just got unlucky not to hit land number 3 for so long. All right, Plains on top. That's fine. Plains for our opponent. Interesting. And Schwamp. All right, Orzhov of some kind. Oh, it's Angels, Giada. It'll be interesting to see if Angels are good in Standard. On one hand, Giada is kind of a busted card, and we saw Angels be, like, kind of good-ish with Giada in the past. However, they do kind of get wrecked by Wraths. They're kind of like dump a bunch of big flyers on the battlefield and then get Wrath kind of tribe. Steel Seraph with a counter. And Giada gonna get in to gain some life, sure. If we draw land, we do not. A land would have been nice. Then we could either Wrath or double Heaped Harvest, but let's do a little heaping. We're gonna sack so we can leave up this Get Lost. We prefer not to use it. We'd rather just Wrath, but if our opponent has a Duress or something else goes wrong, nice to have the option. The Confiscate should be good this game. Steel Seraph hits us. Sure. Down to 15. Question is, if our opponent doesn't play Elspeth, all right. Well, that's a good Get Lost target. Let's Get Lost Elspeth. And well, we draw land, which is fine. Ping, yeah. And I think we just got a Sunfall. And if our opponent plays something good, now we can just confiscate it. We could also, like, Splunking, Heaped Harvest, Phyrexian Flesh Gorger, sure. I mean, that's good, but only a 3/3 opponent. Map and land. And map and land. All right. Well, that's good for us. In that case, if our opponent's only got a 3/3, let's keep ramping. Let's Splunking. Put a land into play. Map the Frontier. Yeah, all right. We can double Heaped Harvest. Let's just Heaped Harvest. This does ruin our Surveil, but whatever. Splunking is such an absurd card. Like, all the ramp spells putting lands into play untapped, obviously it does, like, the big crazy things, but even, like, the little things, like, we can crack the Heaped Harvest, have the mana to turn on the Incubate, little synergies like that, pretty big. Ooh, Guardian of Guruper. That is going to make this Flesh Gorger a much more real threat. Well, let's crack the Heaped Harvest, get our last basic. Oh, I really want to confiscate before we doppelgang. That's kind of the whole point of this. Turn on the Incubate. I mean, I think, we can't quite confiscate and play a full Overlord. We can't impend it. We could play the Overlord first as a creature. I don't even know if we want the Overlord as a creature. Let's just steal the Flesh Gorger. And impend the Overlord. The problem with playing Overlord as a creature is then our opponent can just kill it. And we haven't really given them anything to kill this game, so their odds of having it go for the throat or something is pretty high. On the other hand, if we leave as an enchantment, we might end up doppelganging it. We'd really love this Flesh Scourger to live. Opponent Steel Seraph. And Guardian of Gurapur. Alright, wait, we get to do it? We get to do the thing? However, I think it's... Ooh, okay, and to get lost. Let's do some doppelganging. So doppelganging X3, confiscate, splunking, surveil land. Let the yoinking begin. So we're gonna steal... Wow, an opponent scoops it up. Whew. Yeah, it turns out confiscate doppelgang. Pretty good, pretty good. Oh, so close. It seems like the problem is not many opponents are gonna stick around till we steal all the lands. Oh, this sickness. Let's bring in the split ups and then just do a little trimming. But against Angels, the split ups seem pretty good. Yeah, I'm running like that. If our opponent stuck around, I think there's a decent chance we would have been able to steal all their stuff. We need a opponent who's a glutton for punishment and is gonna stick it out. Alright. This hand's fine. Let's play the land go. We might have to just, well, let's see what we draw. Alright. In that case, I was going to say we might have to play the bounce land and discard the hand size, but no, we don't have to do that. We can just play the normal lands, ramp into the Heaped Harvest. Paw Patch Formation, pretty good against Angels, I think. Is this card so good you play it in your Angels decks? That is wild, isn't it? If you don't have demons, isn't it worse than Phyrexian Arena? I would feel like intuitively I would say yes. Well, play the land, Heaped Harvest. Although you do get to draw the card right away, but you're losing 2 a turn instead of 1. I don't know, maybe they're demons and angels. Opponent, land. More Unholy Annexes. Alright, you get to draw a card. Well, we're probably going to have to kill that. Let's Heaped Harvest. Keep on ramping. Grab an island. And play the Conduit Pylons. Do a little surveilling. Yeah, I don't think we need another land here. Pass the turn. So we're probably going to get lost on Holy Annex. We'll see if our opponent plays something even more problematic. Steel Seraph. Yeah, let's just kill the card draw. Steel Seraph, we're at 20. We can take 3 for a couple turns. Opponent, gonna crack a map. Probably wants to hit a land. All right, hits a land. And I guess you might as well crack it. Cracks the map. Is that a Prophetic Prism? Interesting. Well, Extravagant Replication and a bounce land. Do a little surveilling. And, okay, there it is. There it is, there it is, there it is. Combo may be assembled. We'll see what enchantment removal our opponent has, but Confiscate Extravagant Replication, that is Exemplar of Light. Oh, that's kind of cute. And then they get lifelink and get to draw. Man, do we have to steal a creature? I really want to steal a land because the creatures are just going to die. Oh, this is awkward. Yeah, we're just going to do it. We're going to do it. Grab the land. Draw. Okay, that actually worked for the best. We draw a Sunfall. We do lose our Confiscate. We could have said no to the Heaped Harvest, but that's also awkward. We're out of the way of the board. Play the Surveil land. We'll find another one. Or a Splunking. Splunking Extravagant Replication, also kind of cute. Extravagant Replication is just... Getting a copy of something every turn is so sweet. It also is a 6-mana enchantment that dies too. Legion to Ashes, let's say. That was not going to be my first choice for what kills Extravagant Replication, but it is one of the... That is the downside of Extravagant Replication, right? I do not know whether they're playing Prophetic Prism, but sure. Draw away, friend. Draw away. But it is true that the meta is pretty prepared for enchantments. Well, yeah, let's actually sack this. Get one of our last 2 basics. This does shuffle away the Splunking into even more lands. Maybe we should have just left the... Well, if they had the removal, the Confiscate combo wasn't going to work anyway here. Let's sack the Heaped Harvest. Get the last land out of our... Last basic out of our deck. Play the Surveil land. All right, we'll keep the Splunking. We will Splunk. Well, they do have a Prophetic Prism. I don't know how we're ever going to beat that. Prophetic Prism, if you go back to the first ever Panharmonicon deck, Unholy Annex, again, if you go back to the first ever Panharmonicon deck, right after OG Panharmonicon, another one, right after OG Panharmonicon release, Prophetic Prism was a big part of that deck. I can respect I feel like in our opponent's deck, though, that's just 2 colors, I'd probably play Maze Mindstone or something. Like, I don't think you need the fixing in our opponent's deck. Unless they're doing something wild that we haven't seen. Well, that's... more lands. I mean, I guess if we're going to keep hitting lands, creature lands are better than non-creature lands, but kind of in a scary spot now with this Unholy Annex drawing cards. Is Unholy Annex really that good? It seems wild to me to play it in a... Alright, Phyrexian Worm in a non-demon deck, but maybe it really is that good. Guardian of Gurupur. Well, show us another Sunfall Magic Gods. Found it. Blings out the Flesh Gorger. Coming back bigger than ever. Draws a card. Maybe our opponent just doesn't care about losing life because, well, there's the Paw Paw, but what do we do with the Paw Patch? I kind of just want to cycle it. We can kill that Unholy Annex, but okay. Replication? That's worth it. That's worth it. Yeah, pass the turn, take our beats. Can we avoid more removal on our Extravagant Replication? We just want to start copying Splunkings. And then eventually Confiscations. Found it. Land on Angel. Cavern of Souls. And Splendid Angel, sure. We need something. We are actually on a clock now. Pound it hits us for 10. Gain 7. And Liliana. Well, I mean, I guess they can get rid of our last card, although it is just a land. Well, let's see if this Extravagant Replication can save us. Pound it. Trigger. Makes an angel. Okay, come on. Removal, please. Well, let's copy the Splunking. Draw a Splunking. And a Map the Waste. Well, we can Map the Waste to Surveil. And then Splunking to draw what we Surveil into. Yeah, let's do that. Let's Map the Waste. Archway. Conduit Bylots. Surveil. So we need to find a Wrath, a Confiscate, something. We need something to deal with this board or we're going to die. I think a Wrath is step 1. Heaped Harvest, we do not need that. We make one of those every turn of... Okay, Split Up. It's kind of half a Wrath, but it does get rid of the Flesh Gorger. Yeah, let's play the Splunking. I mean, might as well put the Conduit Pylons into play. Mill the land. Yeah, and then I guess we just... yeah, Split Up. Split Up's very interesting. So we're playing this over something like Temporary Lockdown. Definitely more relevant here than Temporary Lockdown. On the other hand, definitely still not a hard Wrath. Like, we did get rid of the biggest problem, but our opponent's still got a Resplendent Angel that they can turn on if they want to hit us for a bunch, gain life, make another Angel. We're also getting pressured by this Lily. Still got a couple turns before Ultimate, but it is going to get to Ultimate before super long. I mean, it's got to be tempting just to, like, activate Resplendent Angel. Oh, okay, that also works. Ritual Chamber. So there's the demon. So now we get drained by the Unholy Annex. Even without demons in your deck, it does turn itself on eventually. But it hits us down to 8. Well, we're kind of back in the same position where we need something. We do get to draw with Splunking, which is at least something. Found it. Taking up Lily. But we are dead on board if we do not find an answer. Pounding gonna drain us down to 6. Well, okay. Extravagant Replication. Copy the Splunking. Draw a land. Well, Elisa surveils. Hedge Maze. Surveil. The surveilling's so important to this deck. Well, we do not need that. We need an answer. Magic Gods. Okay. I mean, this buys us another turn, right? Split up on untapped creatures. We do lose our Dork, but we get to get rid of the demon. We get rid of the 4/4. We're not taking damage from the Annex anymore. I mean, the split ups feel good. We'll have to see how good they are against aggro. Like, if they're comparable to Temporary Lockdown against aggro, it's nice that our sideboard slot is at least relevant against a deck like this, where Temporary Lockdown would be a straight up dead card. We're going to pass. We could swing in with the creature land at Lily, but I think we need it on defense. Especially since this angel can pump itself. Like, there's a risk, yeah. There is a risk that we just die. Do we go to 1? Also, so Lily's gonna go to 6. Stay at 6. Oh, so now we have to deal with the board and the Lily. Oh, this is looking grim. Powder discards. Angel. Annex, they've drawn so many more cards. Come on, deck. Come on, deck. Replication. Hit the Splunking. Draw an extra card. It's an Errant Archway, which does let us surveil. The surveilling saved us last turn, or we'd already be dead. All right, Lush Waste says I'm going to do it. Surveil us into Doppelgang. So there's no Confiscate to copy. There's still a Lily that's about to ultimate. Oh, Confiscate on top. Oh, oh my God. Oh, this is so good. Oh my God. Okay, so what we do, rather than just doing a huge Doppelgang, we do a mini Doppelgang. Oh, this is so good. Do a mini Doppelgang. Copy the Splunking to draw into the Confiscate. I mean, I guess this is still going to be a Doppelgang X3 because we have infinite mana. Draw into the Confiscate. Confiscate the Lily. Ultimate your Lily on yourself. Oh, I can't laugh or I cough, but I warned you. Oh, I'm sorry. It's a sickness. I can't laugh or I cough, but oh, this is so good. Oh my God, it's so good. It's so good. Oh, so, yes. We will copy a Splunking, we will copy an Angel, we will copy our Extravagant Replication, and we'll copy a land. Yes. So, we get a bunch of Resplendent Angels. We actually have white mana that we can activate one if we want. Draw the Confiscate, put the land into... Oh, this is so brutal. Confiscate might be one of my new favorite cards in Standard. Yoink, the Lily on 6. The whole reverse Arena, and then, yes, I think we would like to ultimate this Liliana opponent. How would you like to sack half for your permanents? So I think we split the creatures. Just split the creatures, split the lands. We don't really care about the Prophetic Prisms. Maybe 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I guess we'll split the Prisms too. Yeah. I imagine, I don't know what they keep here, honestly. Probably respawn the Angel Annex, and then you get less lands. I mean, I think this, yeah. So opponent down to 3 lands. Still has a Resplendent Angel. What our opponent does not know, and we do know, is we still have this Doppelgang, and the more importantly, we have a lot of extravagant. There it is. There it is. There it is. There it is. Oh, we're gonna steal all their permanents. If they don't scoop opponent. Although, even if they scoop, the reverse Liliana Confiscate kill is pretty sweet. But once we get this Confiscate down, we get to copy it 5 times with Replication each turn. That's all their permanents, right? They have 6 permanents. Like, it's gonna take a turn, even without the Doppelgang, an opponent scoops it up, and, well, their own Lily got him. We are trying to confiscate all of our opponent's permanents. In this hand, a little awkward that we don't have any green mana, but it has a lot of cards that we want if we get green mana. We got the Confiscate, Sunfall to Stay Alive, Spelunking to do a little rampant. I'm actually almost surprised they put Confiscate in Standard. Maybe it's just too bad to... Maybe Wizards considers it too bad to be scary, but they don't give us anything that's land destruction adjacent anymore, let alone stealing lands, about it. Fable. We need Annex. We need Annex to go with our Confiscation. Opponent cracks Fable Passage, gets a Plains. Well, land, go. Could really use some green mana. And passes. Okay, there's green mana. Well, we get to get down the Splunking. Virtue of Loyalty, sure. Well, this gets us to Map the Waste next turn, and that means our mana issues should be a thing of the past. Opponent, Cavern on Avatar, and Llanowar Elves. And passes. Well, yeah, I guess we just map the Frontier. Fix our mana a bit. I guess we can just ramp into a quick Confiscate. Grab the Archway. Maybe we just go double Archway. Just go like full on ramp. Yeah, let's just go double Archway. The only awkward part is we don't have an untapped green source that we can use to play the Heaped Harvest, but that's still fine. Virtue Loyalty, number 2. Well, pick up the land. Pick up the land. Oh, duh, Splunking, right. Heaped Harvest. Disregard every stupid thing I say. We have a Splunking. grab the forest. And now I guess we might as well just sack the Heaped Harvest. Island? Go? I mean, we're still at 21. Heaped Harvest is actually very powerful. Double ramp gain 3. Plus the synergies with like Replication. Pretty good. Caretaker's Talent gets and hits us. Now we might have to just confiscate the Caretaker's Talent. I mean, it's not... Yeah... I guess we Sunfall. Let's just reset the board. Getting rid of the Mana Dork is kind of big. And then play the Plains. Actually, you know what? I think we just impend the Overlord. I don't even know if we want it as a creature. Like, our game plan is not to win by beating down with Overlords. I think it might be better just to play as an enchantment. And now we can blow up the Caretaker's Talent if we have to. Otherwise, I would really love to confiscate it. And then draw Extravagant Replication and replicate it. Overlord of the Mistmoors in pen mode. Alright, sure. I guess you get to draw, unfortunately, off the Caretaker's Talent. Well, let's fire up our Incubator. And map the Frontier. Well, we might as well do a little mapping. Do a little mapping. Keep on ramping. Pylons and Air Archway. Like usual. I think we do need to float mana, though. Let's float a mana. We'll mill the Get Lost. Do we really want to find replication at this point? Overlord of the Hauntwoods. Yeah, don't need you anymore. Well, let's play the Conduit Pylons. Well, okay. Maybe a Get Lost is fine. Because it's actually kind of cute. So, Confiscate. Take the Caretaker's Talent. We should be able to copy the land token, right? Level it up, copy the land token, draw a card. And the Get Lost are fine, right? At least it can deal with like an Overlord once it pops off. Might as well level it up. Here comes our Incubator. Apparently we're Incubate aggro now. And plus fully leveling up the Caretaker's Talent. The only downside is if our opponent kills a Confiscation and gets it back, then it's going to be pumping their stuff. But hopefully that doesn't happen. Wait, are they like salting out already just because we took their Caretaker's Talent? That, I don't know if that's salt worthy. We did spend 6 mana to steal it. It was a hefty investment on our end. Opponent, thinking of chumping, interesting. All right, opponent eventually takes a 5, sure. Well, unimpend the Overlord. Opponent, Overlord of the Hauntwoods. So apparently our opponent's just like a oops all Overlord deck. Gets in, hits us down to 12. Unimpends. We draw a useless land. I'm actually tempted to Get Lost our Overlord to trigger Caretaker's Talent and draw a card and give us maps. We really just need to find a big payoff. And we don't really need this Overlord. So blow up the Overlord, draw a couple cards. Or draw a card. It's another land. We'll crack a map. Splunking. Yeah, to the graveyard. We already got one. And crack a map. Action. Nope. Well, alright. Play the creature land. The creature land's nice. At least it can maybe stop these beats for the short term. Eventually, they're going to play one of these virtues. So we need Extravagant Replication. Obviously, Doppelgang would be insane, but if we get a token copy of the Caretaker's Talent, then we can do the, like, pay 1, copy it, draw a bunch of cards thing. Ooh, full-priced Overlord. Alright, well, I mean, I think our opponent has presented lethal pressure, so we need to find something probably... well, I guess we can survive in one more turn. So kill one of the flyers, take 2, down to 10. Because we can Get Lost the Overlord of the Mistmoors. Do we kill our own stuff to draw more cards? We have so much mana. Yeah, let's just wait. We have so much mana, we can do it during our turn. Well, alright, untap. Ooh, Extravagant Replication. Can we survive another turn? Play the Replication. Kill the Mistmoors if we need to. Block. I think this works. And then we can copy the Caretaker's Talent. And then hopefully draw until we hit something that saves us. Actually, do we even need to kill the Overlord of the Mistmoors? Like, it's going to make more tokens. But we might be Wrath or Bust anyway. So if we have to hit a Wrath anyway, then the tokens don't really change anything, right? They're not attacking or anything. We can draw a lot of cards. Assuming they don't blow up any of our stuff, we can copy the Caretaker's Talent a bunch of times and hope to find just like a Sunfall, probably? Would another Confiscation do it? Maybe. I guess maybe Confiscations. All right, Virtual Loyalty. Yeah, opponent stuff's going to get super big. Sure. We're still not out of the woods. We are not out of the woods yet, opponent. I think we'll just let it go. Sure. Opponent gets in with the Overlord. I guess just block with the Incubate. we could blow up the Virtue. I don't even think we're going to do that. I think we're just going to trust that we're going to hit a Wrath here. We're dead anyway if we don't hit the Wrath. So opponent grows the dorks, on impends. Well, replicate, not that. Yes, Caretaker's Talent. No. Caretaker's Talent, please. I mean, copy and confiscate is what our deck's trying to do, but for now, we need, okay, there we go. Copy the Caretaker's Talent, draw a couple cards. Now we can do the trick. Okay, there's another two more confiscates. Well, I think we need the Wrath first, though. Caretaker's Talent, copy Caretaker's Talent, draw a card. Sunfall, please. Caretaker's Talent, copy Caretaker's Talent. Draw a card. Heaped Harvest. That's not going to do it. Well, pay white. And copy Caretaker's Talent with Caretaker's Talent. We got to find it before we run out of mana. The only downside is we have a ton of mana, but a big chunk of it is colorless. So we can't spend it all doing this. Caretaker's Talent into a land. Well, yeah, let's keep it going. Make a white mana. Caretaker's Talent. Copy it. We're running out of draws here. We gotta hit something. Doppelgang. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ooh, wait. We can go X3. Okay. Wait. Are we doing it? Are we doing the thing? So now what we can do? Play the land. So we can doppelgang. Copy confiscate 3 times. Copy extravagant replication 3 times. And the Overlord of the Mistmoors 3 times. So this is going to make a ton of blockers so we don't die. We can confiscate, I guess, a bunch of our opponent's lands. Actually, you know what? You can keep your Overlord. We're just going to take lands. Land number 1. And attach a confiscate to land number 2. And confiscate land number 3. Yoink, yoink, yoink. Make some flyers. Oh, wait, this might be the one. If our opponent doesn't scoop, this might be the one. This might be the one where you actually steal all of our opponent's permanents. Discard you and you. All right, so I don't think we die, right? Especially since our flyers are kind of huge because of that Caretaker's Talent. Stealing that Caretaker's Talent was sweet. So now we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more confiscates, at least, next turn. That should be all the lands, at a minimum. Oh, it's so brutal. Look at our board. It's so brutal. Oh, it has got to be the worst feeling. It's not like getting a land blown up. Confiscating a land is way more brutal, right? Because the land's sitting there taunting you. We're using it to make mana, to cast other huge things to make your life even more miserable. I think once you get a land confiscated, you'll be begging for a fair stone raining. Pound it. I'm gonna get him the Overlord. So our opponent's plan is what? To make enough flyers to go around, I guess. Now we're just gonna block with everything just in case. Get rid of the Overlord. I mean, if we draw a Doppelgang here, then it's done. Then we literally get all the permanents right away. Pound it, another Virtue. It's nice of our opponent to grow their permanents for us. Thank you. Yes, make them as big as possible, opponent, because we would like to take them. Unimpends Overlord. Well, extravagant replication. I think we copy a confiscate and also a confiscate, and another confiscate, and a confiscate. And that should be enough to get all the lands. 1. Oh my god. I forgot. Oh no, are we going to mill out? Did we find the fatal flaw in our plan? Are we going to mill out? That is a lot of Oh, there's the Doppelgang. That should do it. Yes! Steal the land. Okay. All the lands have been stolen. And now, to finish it off, I guess we just do the Doppelgang thing. Doppelgang all the confiscations. X4. So this is going to give us 16 more confiscates? I think that is more than permanents our opponent has if we do this right. All right. Well, let's attach some confiscates. Llanowar Elves and Overlord. Yes. How about one of you tokens? Sure. And doing you, and also you, and you, and welcome to the team, and you, and also you, insect. And I mean, we can't leave these virtues over there. And well, I guess some of these are going to get more than one confiscate. We have more confiscation than necessary. Yeah, and opponent's board, welcome to our board, and then we'll do a little attacking, and that's how you win a game of Foundation Standard, by stealing literally all of your opponent's permanents. We did it, and thank you to Blade for not scooping. Wow, that was good. Okay, Confiscation. Oh my god, I love that card. That was as good as I hoped. Yeah, I mean, I guess we'd bring in the Paw Patch formations. Getting rid of Caretaker's talent seems worth. Plus Paw Patch, it's just so flexible. Worst case it cycles. Like, it's just very solid. What do we cut, though? I guess Overlord. Somehow I think Overlord's like the worst ramp spell in our deck. Let's try it like that. Can we do it again? Can we steal all of our opponent's permanents twice in a match? Yeah, this sounds fine. Double Paw Patch, some ramp. We will accept that. Seems reasonable enough. What are you up to, opponent? What do we got? What we got, Blade? What permanents do you have for us to steal today? Play your best ones, because we would like them. Wait, are they done? Are they done? Was all the permanents being? Oh, okay, they're mulliganing. I see. I thought maybe they were just done after that brutal beatdown. The most flawless of victories, the best possible flawless victory. The flawless victory where you control the permanents, not just blow them up. Bout it. What do we got on turn 2? Opponent decides on a land. Heir Apparent. What? Okay. So opponent's apparently the Heir Apparent deck. Well, let's play a Condo of Pylons and surveil away land. We definitely have plenty of lands at the moment, and we have the Map the Frontiers. Do they have another one? Are they popping? Are they? Heir Apparent number 2 comes along. That's a fast start. We did not sideboard in the split ups or anything. We might just get run over by Heir Apparent. I can't believe I'm saying that, but that's the world we live in. Welcome to the Foundation Standard. Is Heir Apparent the best you can play any number of card that they've made so far? It might be. At least out of creatures. It might be the best out of creatures. Dragon's Approach is kind of unique. Slime Against Humanity is not that. We just played that not that long ago, and it's janky, but it can kind of work. But I think Heir Apparent, compared to the rats and stuff, I think it might be the most competitive. Well, let's do a little pawing. Well, there's a Confiscate. And, all right, there's some removal. That's good. I guess we got to play the Seachrome Coast while it's untapped past the turn. Cavern of Souls and Overlord of the Hauntwood. Sure. Do we have to kill a Heir Apparent? We might have to. Opponent getting in, hitting us. Well, let's blow up the Heir Apparent. Get it out of here. Down to 14. I'll play the Brushland, and let's just get our ramp going here. Map the Frontier. And, yeah, I think we definitely get a bounce land. Land number 2, maybe we just take Lush Oasis. So ping, yeah, because we already have a Conduit Pylons we can pick up. So pick up the Pylons. Well, I mean, not going to say no to a Doppelgang, especially with Confiscate already in hand. Not going to turn that down. All right, there's a Caretaker's Talent. Well, is this going to... Okay, opponent's going to level it up this time. Last time we got to level it up, and it was pretty sweet, but this time our opponent beats us to it. We can still confiscate it. Cavern Rabbit into Llanowar Elves. Opponent's deck is interesting. Gonna crack the map on the Heir Apparent and finds land, hits us down to 10. I think we gotta confiscate first. Are we confiscating Heir Apparent? That's so janky. But we might have to just to avoid the beatdowns. But we want the confiscate down. Oh, actually, yeah, let's, yeah, I think we gotta mill it. Actually, yeah, we came here to confiscate, right? Yeah, okay, let's mill it. It's the right thing to do. It's tempting to keep just because it increases our chances of stealing all of our opponent's permanents, but I think we might need to hit a Wrath. I'm a little worried we keep confiscate and then just get run over anyway. I think what we're going to do here is Paw Patch Formation away the Caretaker's Talent and then get lost a Heir Apparent, I guess. Confiscate next turn into Doppelgang the following turn, probably. Grags it, assuming we don't just draw Wrath or something. If you want to level it up, go for it. We'd be fine with that. We're going to blow it up anyway. Opponent's going to crack the map. And, ooh, opponent has split up. Cute. Not good against our... I guess, did they bring in Split Up to destroy their own permanents once we steal them? What did they see out of our deck? Let's blow up the Paw Patch, or blow up the Caretaker's Talent so they don't get to draw a card. I think they brought in Split Up to wrath their own stuff after we steal it, because what did they see out of our deck that would suggest you need Split Up against it? We're not really playing creatures. I mean, I guess they saw a couple Overlords, but maybe that's what they're thinking. Oh, pound it. No, there so many here. I wonder how many they're playing. Well, blow up the Hair Parent. Bona gets another Grizzly Hair. Might as well crack the food. Go up to 13. And cracks the map on the Llanowar. Overlord of the Mistmoors, that is a good one. And cracks the map on the Llanowar, hits us down to 11. Unpens. Well, that is a Sunfall. We can survive this. It's so much better next turn, right? Because they're going to play this Overlord. So I think we got to wait. Do we just confiscate a land? We might just confiscate a land. Heaped Harvest to the grave. Yeah. Can we keep it? Yeah, let's keep it. Well, let's confiscate. I want to take a land, but maybe we just got to play it on the Heir Apparent to just soak up some damage. It's so much worse because we're going to Wrath, but yeah, this just prevents us from getting too low on life. It's not the way we want to use Confiscate, but we will take your 2/2. At least it's a blocker. So I imagine we get a pretty good Sunfall. Opponent, Overlord of the Mistmoa. Gonna make a bunch of flyers, get in. Well, we will block. I mean, we're definitely just wrathing here. There goes our Confiscate, sadly. Unimpens. Well, I believe we have enough mana that we should be able to Heaped Harvest, and still Sunfall away the board. And now we need to find another Confiscate. That is the last piece of this puzzle. Well, Sunfall. Out of here, opponent's permanents. Get a big ol' Incubate. And Aired Archway, Surveil, away a Surveil land, and pass the turn. Opponent, land, and unimpens. Well, that's Surveil. Map the Frontier. I mean, we're in full-on Confiscate mode, I believe. Might as well fire up the Incubate, get in, hit you. I feel like we're in a good position to win this game, but I don't want to win. I want to steal all of our opponent's permanents, but we might just end up winning the boring attacking way. They get the Overlord. We also have Doppelgang X3 now, which is nice. We have reached the next level of the Dop, but we really need a confiscation. Maybe we could have confiscated the land. We would have taken, what, 4 more damage? 5 more damage? 5 more. So we'd be at 3. It would have been risky, but with how it played out, we might have been able to get away with it. We might have been able to confiscate the land. The upside is not so much that we get +1 land here. It's that we have a Confiscate that's still in the battlefield that we can Doppelgang and start stealing the rest of the lands. Wow, just a land. All right, well, that's an unfortunate draw for our opponent. Overlord, unimpens. Well, let's sack this Heaped Harvest, gain a little life, keep thinning the old deck. Confiscate. Oh, okay. Ask and you shall receive. So I think we just attack. We could confiscate the Overlord, probably win by beating down, but that's not what this is about. We're not about winning. We are about dominating here. We're about stealing all the permanents. Opponent trades off. Well, 6 mana, yoink a everywhere land. And now next turn, well, opponent just draws another land. Now we can start. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. All right. Do a little doppelganging. Just a little doppelgang X3 here. Confiscate and Surveil Desert. Bounce land desert. I don't know if it really matters. Let's just go Surveil land. So confiscate. Yoink. That everywhere land looking pretty nice. And I mean, our opponent has hit a lot of lands, so they can still function. We've stolen 4 lands now, but they still have more than enough mana to function. Well, mill the Vinestalk. Ooh, yeah, mill the Replication is gonna be too slow. Doppelgang we will keep. I mean, I think we did it. I think unless our opponent scoops, we just steal the rest of their lands next turn with this confiscates. About it. Oh, I'm so sorry, Blade. Our poor opponent just wanted to play their overlords. Just wanted to check out this new Foundations format, only to find out that they were going to get literally all their permanents stolen twice. All right, opponent, let's show us the top deck of the century. Show us the top deck of the century that gets you back in this game. You can just, if you ever play against me, obviously, when I'm recording a video like this, it's awesome if we get to see the ending of it, but 100% you can just concede. That is the correct thing to do. If you get in a position where you can no longer win, conceding is perfectly fine. You don't actually have to sit there. What's a land award? You don't actually have to sit there and let me steal all your permanents. Again, I'm glad that some of you do. It makes the video much better. So I think we just confiscate or doppelgang X3 on all the confiscates. And we could have went bigger, but we don't need it. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Yoink. Oh no, I misclicked. Okay, well that's fine. We got to back up doppelgang. That's fine. Doppelgang X1, confiscate. Just to make sure. There we go. Come to us, Verge. Come to us. And now we beat you down with your land war for 13 turns. And that's how the game ends. And that is how you steal literally all your opponent's permanents with confiscate. Not much is better than that. An opponent, after letting us stealing all their permanents, thank you, Blade. Shout out for that. Scoops it up, and yeah, we did it. So what did we learn this week about Eminent Domain in Standard? And overall record-wise, we went 4-4 with the deck, which is fine. More importantly, we got to do the thing. So we had a few games where we pretty much had stolen all of our opponent's permanents, but then before we could literally steal all of them, our opponent would scoop, so we were like, I don't know, technically we did the thing, but in practice, we didn't get to see every permanent on our side of the battlefield just because our opponent scooped too quickly. But thankfully, our last opponent was a glutton for punishment and actually sat through the entire win, not once but twice, and we stole every single one of their permanents 2 different times, 2 games in a row. So the plan does actually work, and I gotta say, obviously, like, Doppelgang does ridiculous things. Ramping is good. The 2 interesting new cards are really Confiscate and Extravagant Replication. Extravagant Replication, we never really got to pop off too hard with it. Like, we got to copy a bunch of Splunkings sometimes, but it turns out it does just die sometimes, and it is kind of slow. Confiscate, on the other hand, was kind of ridiculous. Like, yes, when we steal all of our opponent's permanents, it's like one of the greatest things ever, but we had to see it be really good played fairly. The game against the black deck, where they got a Liliana up to 6, and we're able to confiscate and ultimate our opponent's Liliana against themselves, was one of, like, the sweetest fair uses of Confiscate. So I think that Confiscate might actually just, like, kind of be a good card. My only worry is we are in a standard that's really prepared for enchantment. Same problem with the Extravagant Replication. Because of, like, Caretaker's Talent and all that stuff, it's just actually hard to keep an enchantment on the battlefield for a bunch of turns, but Confiscate felt really, really good. The rest of the deck, it's really nice support for trying to steal all the opponent's permanents. So anyway, that is Eminent Domain in Standard. That is stealing literally all of our opponent's permanents. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will talk to you soon.